the broadcast with this big breaking news coming in. Rhea's legal team have released a statement, and Times Now has accessed the scoop from Rhea camp. We're being told at this point in time, as far as the CBI probe is concerned, remember the Chief Minister of Bihar has given a go-ahead. He has recommended a CBI probe, but Rhea's legal team has released a statement post that development. The petition filed by Rhea Chakraborty in Supreme Court that Bihar police had no jurisdiction to investigate the case will continue in the Supreme Court. There cannot be a transfer of a case which had no legal basis for Bihar to get involved. At the most, it would be a zero FIR and transferable to Mumbai police. The transfer of a case on which they had no jurisdiction to CBI has no legal sanctity, and having realized that Bihar has no jurisdiction, this illegal method has been adopted. So this statement is coming in from Rhea's legal team. Let's go across to our senior editor Bhavatosh, who's joining us with more details. Bhavatosh, on one hand, the Bihar Chief Minister has recommended a CBI probe. On the other hand, we're getting details now of the statement released by Rhea's legal team. They say there is no legal sanctity of the CBI probe move.
In fact, adding to what you had just said, the statement that has been issued by Rhea's team also said that that you are interfering in the federal structure of our nation in a backdoor manner. It touches the very root of the federal structure on the basis of which India became a republic by union of states. Now, even CBI officers are in a bind, Swati, primarily because of the rather complex legal nature of this case. They have said that ideally, whenever a state government recommends a CBI probe, a DOPT issues a notification, and then the Department of Prosecution of CBI informs CBI to take over a particular crime or a particular probe. But in this case, while the Bihar police have recommended a CBI probe, the jurisdiction of crime is Mumbai. Now, CBI is in fact is confined, and its working is confined by the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act, and under Section 5 of the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act, it is very clear that you need a general consent from the state government or from the High Court to carry out a particular probe. Now, if at all CBI takes over the Bihar police FIR, their probe will be limited and confined to Bihar only, because Maharashtra has not given a general consent under Section 5 of the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act, and that's the reason why many in CBI who are aware of all the developments that have taken place in this case have said that they would prefer to follow a wait and watch policy, because they know that there are very big legal hurdles ahead of them, and they will await for the hearing that will take place, all important hearing that will take place in Supreme Court tomorrow, where a petition filed by Rhea Chakraborty will be heard. But a very hard-hitting statement issued from the Rhea camp, which have said that Bihar government's decision ordering probe in this matter hits at the very root of federal structure of the country.
Right, Bhavatosh, stay on with us. We also have Mr. Majid Memon joining us on the broadcast. Let's go across to him, sir. You can throw some more light as far as this legal development is concerned. Rhea's legal team says that this is an illegal move resorted to by the Bihar government of recommending a CBI probe.
See, now that Sushant case has become like a football, from one part to another part, and everybody is probably trying to give the word of wisdom to the police as to how they have to act. But I think we must all remember that there are statutory provisions in law which rule the conduct of the investigating agency, whether it is a policeman or a CBI officer or ED officer or whatever it be. They are all regulated by statutory provisions and settled judgments. Now, ordinarily, there is physical territorial jurisdiction also has some significance in criminal law, because if there is no territorial binding, then there would be chaos, and everybody would want that at my home, in my place, the investigation should be brought in, which of course is going to jeopardize the interest of justice. And therefore, no cases can simply be transferred because somebody wishes that from Bihar it will be brought to Mumbai, or from Mumbai it will be taken to Bihar. I don't think that can be done, number one. And number two, that as far as the change of investigation agency is concerned, we are also seeing that in Sushant's case, number of people are jumping in and making all kinds of requests that, well, this be handed over to CBI. It is not the choice of a party to decide as to whether it should be investigated by the local police or by CBI. For that also there are certain decided norms. There are settled principles on which the cases are being transferred from local police to any other agency, including CBI.
Okay.
So
Mr. Memon, I would request you to stay with us. We also have former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, Vikram Singh, joining us on the broadcast. Vikram Singh ji, Rhea's legal team says there is no legal basis for the Bihar police to get involved. At the most, it would be a zero FIR, which again would be transferred to the Mumbai police. So they are calling this entire move of the Bihar police or the Bihar government illegal.
This is a half-truth. If the FIR is on the same grounds and the same sections, yes, it will be registered on the zero FIR and then transferred to Mumbai at the appropriate police station. But IPC has 509 section, 509 section. The Mumbai case pertains to 306 of the IPC and probably the Patna case. I'm not privy to it. I must confess that I have not seen the draft FIR. But I'm given to understand that incorporates section 406, 409, 420 of the Indian Penal Code. And a person can be involved in multiple cases. It does not necessarily mean that the same allegations that have been leveled in Mumbai are also leveled in Patna. They can be different allegations against different people at multiple times. Therefore, first, they should do their homework. Patna has every jurisdiction to lodge any FIR against anyone if there is a complainant. And the complainant knows what he's talking about because he's a blood relation. Rhea is not a blood relation.
Okay, that's a very important point that you're making. And let me take that across to Mr. Majid. Mr. Majid, do you agree with that point? Mr. Vikram Singh is saying it's an entirely different case, as far as the one registered in Patna is concerned. The allegations are different.
See, what I would request all who are talking and who are expressing their wish that this should be done or this should not be done should only turn to rule books. Please turn to rule books. And let us take Sushant's case also as the case of any other Indian citizen.
Yes, the question of jurisdiction.
Okay. My colleague Sham is there trying to speak to the DGP of Bihar. Sham, if you can hear me, and if you can go ahead, we are live.
Yes, Swati. Yes, Swati. Now I have with me the DGP of Bihar, Mr. Gupteshwar Pandey. Sir, the petition which has been filed by Rhea Chakraborty in SC, Supreme Court clearly says that the Bihar government has no jurisdiction to investigate the case and will continue in Supreme Court.
The question of the jurisdiction is going to be debated in Honorable Supreme Court anyway. Because this is the logic which has been given by Rhea Chakraborty, who is accused in our case. Now the same language is being spoken by Mumbai police also. They also say the same thing. Rhea Chakraborty is saying the same thing. Mumbai police is saying the same thing. Now if you go into debate of jurisdiction, it will take a very long time. It's a very, technical thing. But I'll tell you one thing. It's not a simple case of suicide. You see the FIR, go through the FIR. It's also a case of criminal breach of trust, criminal misappropriation, embezzlement of fund account. And who is the legal natural heir? Who is the natural heir of Sushant? Sushant was not married, he doesn't have a wife, he doesn't have mother, he already lost his mother. His father is the only family member, two sisters are there, already married, their own life, they don't stay with Sushant. So only natural heir of Sushant is his father, Mr. K.K. Singh. And where does he reside? Here in Patna, under Rajiv Nagar police station. So he is the victim. He being the natural heir of Sushant, his father is also a victim. So a partial cause of action is here also. This is why case was registered. And this is why investigation was taken up. We sent a team, case was registered on 25th. On 27th, we sent a team, 4 members team, to Mumbai. They went to meet the DCP on 28th. Then DCP Bandra, refused to share any information with them. And he told, better you meet DCP crime, investigation. On 29th, at 10 o'clock, they went to DCP, Detective 1 they call it, to meet him. But he refused to, he was not there, he didn't show up.
This means that
They waited 6 hours, but nobody showed up. All the staffs were, DCP himself didn't show up. And all staffs, they also disappeared. Nobody was there.
Sir, I have a question.